Let's introduce Jen Benson.
BYU needs at least 3 players to shoot in the double digits tonight. BYU has had 15 wins and just 1 loss so far this season. Each time they've had 3 players shoot in the double digits. Most of the shots are in the low post area, averaging 24.9 points in the paint per game. We'll see if they'll be able to keep up that energy tonight.
Coaching, Kelly is the only Bills brother who's been on the team with all 3 of his siblings at some point. Kelly says they still learn new tricks from each other, just like they did while growing up.
BYU's only other loss of the season was against Santa Clara, but the Cougars get another shot to avenge their defeat. How about having your very best friend right beside you? BYU gymnast Haley Rollins and Raquel Wellman are not only teammates and roommates. Unforgettable season to look back on. The girls have a lifetime of friendship to look forward to. Head coach Dave Rose told me exactly what the team needs to do to earn another win and even have a shot to play in the NCAA. How important is it for you to support your fellow female athletes by going to their games? It's super, especially our BYU athletes. Our Cougars share with you what they're thankful for this holiday season. Since 2001 has recorded as many points or kills in a single match. For the unknown, the team is rested, healthy, and ready for another shot to shoot some hoops. Haley, congratulations on being tonight's game changer. You've had a lot of setbacks as well as awards. How important is it for you to focus on the positive in this sport? Mountain West Conference player has a perfect fighter record with 4 wins and 0 losses. Saturday's 85-67 win against Portland marked the halfway point. He spent 6 hours after school gathering volleyballs and tracking his team's progress. Coordinator in Arizona, Robert Anai is back here at BYU. Anai coached on average 40 more passing yards per game than the last 2 seasons. And will making women's athletics as successful as it is today. Today's scrimmage will be especially beneficial to the team because it gives a lot of young guys and players coming back from injury a chance to improve.
Here's True Blue's Jen Benson.
BYU football fans can expect big changes to special teams this season. The Cougars' new coordinator, Kelly Papinga, requires all kickers to train more than they did last spring.
Coach Hal did a really good job of setting the culture and really just trying to continue what he built.
But the special teams unit isn't training harder just for kicks. Justin Sorensen says the team's unity and intensity is paying off.
I've changed my kick a lot. This is my first healthy off season, so it's been really fun to be able to actually work out this time of year and finding my kick to be more accurate than I have been in the past.
Although Papinga says Sorensen isn't as experienced as Riley Stevenson, he believes Sorensen has a lot of potential.
While Scott Arellano and Jordan Miller are competing for starting punter this spring, Justin Sorensen is taking most of the reps as place kicker. But Kelly Papinga has a new plan for special team starters this fall.
Right now we have the thing going that if you want to be a starter on offense or defense, you have to start on special teams.
Although the starting quarterback won't be on special teams, Papinga says fans can expect starters like Cody Hoffman, Kyle Vanoy, and J.D. Foslev to get more playing time.
I think it's monumental because you look at our bowl game, and that's what won us the game is our field position.
Foslev says if special teams continues to improve at this rate, BYU will be a very tough team to beat. Jen Benson, BYU TV Sports.
Thank you, Jen. BYU TV football analyst Blaine Fowler's here. I like this part of the show.
Senior guard Haley Steed isn't your typical BYU basketball player. With a career high of 24 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 steals, the veteran holds several BYU records. One record the team captain holds is leading her school and the nation with 14 assists in a single game.
I'm a very competitive person, and I think the competing part of basketball is probably it's what drives me to keep going.
Although Steed was named 2012's West Coast Conference Most Valuable Player, you wouldn't think the team's prolific three-point shooter would be 5'4". But to Haley, height is just a number.
A lot of times in players, you don't judge them by their size, you judge them by their heart. And I think Haley has one of the biggest hearts of anybody.
A big heart with a big love for basketball kept Haley shooting hoops through not 1, not 2, but 3 ACL injuries on both her knees, justifying her eligibility to play 7 years for the team.
It was not easy, especially the 3rd time. I really thought I was done playing. It's just to fight through that and to have the patience to wait that long was a huge trial for me.
Haley first tore her left ACL in an away game her freshman year. A year later, she tore her ACL again at practice here at the Marriott Center. After a 2nd year of rehab, Haley then tore her right ACL the very first game of the season. Haley said all 3 injuries were just freak accidents on the court.
I always had a drive to come back and end up on the court again. It helped me appreciate the game and love the game even more.
Head coach Jeff Judkins says most athletes would give up even after just one ACL tear, but not Haley. During those years, Judkins says Haley taught him to never take anything for granted and see that the opportunity to work is a blessing.
Haley's made me want to work hard every time and enjoy the things that I've received in my life. And, you know, coaching her has been a real blessing.
Haley says her decision to come back a 7th year was because of her coach and teammate support. She says her love for basketball and all the friendships she's made over the years makes her want to be a coach someday, preferably at BYU. At the Marriott Center, Jen Benson, BYU TV Sports. BYU basketball fans don't have to put away their large posters, t-shirts, or tents just yet. Although there won't be an NCAA tournament this year, Selection Sunday announced BYU will compete as a number 3 seed in the National Invitation Tournament instead.
I mean, we are disappointed we're not in the big tournament, but you'll take what you can get, and you just want to keep playing basketball as long as you can. And this is a great tournament with lots of good teams, and so we're looking to get a few wins.
The first game will be at the Marriott Center against Washington at 7:30 Tuesday night. The Cougars haven't played in the NIT tournament since 2006, BYU head coach Dave Rose's first season coaching.
I'm really excited for this game. I think that the matchup's a little difficult. They're really athletic. We look forward to the challenge, but I know our guys are really excited to be playing another game, to be in the NIT and to have a home game.
Rose says Josh Sharp injured his Achilles tendon during practice, but is hopeful he'll be able to play by tomorrow night.
Coach Rose says after a week of practicing hard for the unknown, the team is rested, healthy, and ready for another shot to shoot some hoops.
I'm feeling great. You know, a week off with no games really helps a lot, and so my body feels good, and you know, I'm sure our whole team's feeling a lot healthier this week as well.
We just got to get back to, you know, playing our game and, you know, playing solid throughout a whole game. You know, we tend to have, you know, some spurts where we're going to have some letdowns, and, you know, I think we've gotten those things fixed, and looking forward to getting out there and showing it.
In addition to anticipating a competitive game against the Huskies, former Pleasant Grove High star CJ Wilcox will play against his former teammates, both Tyler Haws and Brandon Davies.
Yeah, we're all pretty good friends. He's definitely progressed. You know, he's a great player. You know, potential league guy, and it's going to take a lot for us to try to get him stopped. And you know, he's got a lot of guys that are helping him out as well.
If BYU wins against the Huskies, they'll host a second-round game later this week at the Marriott Center once again. Jen Benson, BYU TV Sports. BYU junior gymnast Megan Bain grew up in Draper, Utah. The pint-sized toddler was full of life, often laughing or smiling, and had a whole lot of energy. After finding out that ballet class was just too boring for a youngster nicknamed Firecracker, Megan found the sport she loved the most.
I was all over the place, climbing on top of everything, and so my mom's like, I've got to put her in gymnastics.
By 9th grade, Megan hit a mental block. Her coaches told her she reached her peak and it was time for her to quit. But Megan wouldn't quit. She decided to join another gym instead. BYU head coach Brad Cattermole happened to own it.
That is one of the things I'm most proud of in my entire life. In like the space of 3 months, I went from coaches telling me to quit to going to nationals and doing really well.
After high school, Megan's dreams came true. She landed a spot on the BYU gymnastics team and established herself as a solid rookie. At the beginning of her stellar sophomore season, Megan earned a 9.825 in floor and a 9.9 in both the beam and vault. But just 1 week after her career high, she hit a low. Megan tore her Achilles tendon during warm-ups.
I was really bummed, but I was able to turn it around into being a good thing, and I can honestly say that I'm grateful that it happened because it's influenced my motivation and dedication to the sport like never before.
Megan supported her teammates by coming to every meet on her crutches and cheered them on with high fives. She says even though it was a difficult time for her, she was still so excited to see her best friend, senior Sarah Wenzel, excel.
Seeing her get her high scores or being able to pep talk her before her routine was the best thing ever.
Doctors told Megan she wouldn't be able to tumble for an entire year. Megan spent hours here at the Athletic Training Center treating her Achilles tendon.
Megan is incredibly mentally tough, and we've talked about this, but she didn't always used to be. She's had trouble before getting through mental barriers, and I think between her freshman and sophomore year, she learned how to break through all of her mental barriers, and I think that prepared her for this injury.
BYU head coach Brad Cattermole says even though most athletes would probably give up after such a traumatic injury, Megan gave more. Megan spent hours working on an event she wasn't always so good at, bars.
But the real impressive thing with her this year is not so much that she can do a 9-9 on beam before, because she's pretty good on this event. Bars was not a good event for her, and that's been long. She's in the bar lineup, and she's probably about in the middle of the lineup, and I see her just getting better and better as the season goes.
Megan accredits her coach, friends, and family for helping her stay positive and getting back on the blue floor. Megan says she can always count on her #1 fans for support, her family.
They really have supported me and made my dreams come true. So they're the #1 people in my life, and it's just nice to be able to have them see me compete and do my best.
Megan says coming back from injury starts with believing in yourself and setting high goals. One of her goals this year is to make it to nationals with her teammates. Although it hasn't happened since 2005, she believes they have a shot.
Belief is the thing that sets your actions in motion, and so when you've got that foundation of a belief, that's where the commitment happens, that's where the work ethic happens, that's where the change and success happens.
After a long-awaited year of recovery and hard work, Megan Bain is finally ready for another season of doing what she loves the most. In Provo, Jen Benson, BYU TV Sports. The BYU men's volleyball team is on fire this season with 15 wins in 7 sweeps. They averaged 12.4 kills and 2.9 blocks per set and have earned a #1 national ranking.
The success that we've had so far, I think, is just a result of the guys' dedication to their efforts in practice every single day.
BYU earned the top spot after beating UC Irvine on the road. Despite trailing 19-14 in the 3rd set, the Cougars came back with a big win and national awards. Freshman outside hitter Ben Patch earned national and conference awards 2 weeks in a row after breaking BYU's rally scoring record of 35 kills and scoring 37.5 points.
No other Mountain Pacific Sports Federation player since 2001 has recorded as many points or kills in a single match.
You know, this is just an honor. You know, I don't think I deserve them. If our passers didn't pass or our setters did not set the way they did, we wouldn't have won. It's not just one person, it's our home team. So I'm just grateful, you know, that they chose one person. Could have been anyone on the team.
Taylor Sander also earned national attention as one of the top athletes in the conference. Sander was named the ABCA's National Player of the Week earlier this season. Sander hit a stellar .75 for the 2nd time in his career against Cal Baptist over the weekend and broke BYU's all-time record in career aces.
I just want to continue to try and be a leader and just work hard in practice and be leaders to the guys, and yeah, just play my heart out there.
Now ranking 1st in the conference with blocks, hitting, and opponent hitting percentages, BYU feels ready to avenge their 2 losses from earlier this season against Long Beach and Pepperdine.
You know, we'd still like to improve our offensive distribution to be able to pass better. Had been making too many errors early in the season. We brought those down into a pretty acceptable range, and if we can pass well, we're a really scary team offensively.
Cougar fans are digging BYU's #1 title with the most attendance in the nation. With only 2 home games left, BYU has to ace 6 away games to stay on top. In Provo, Jen Benson, BYU TV Sports.